election was a success. We had a number of our staff who worked under extremely difficult circumstances. Some are still working as we speak. We are most grateful for the level of professionalism demonstrated by every single one of you across the country, and our gratitude goes out to you. We also extend thanks to all the stakeholders that have been here, men and women from the media that have kept informing the nation of what the proceedings have been. At this juncture, allow me now to call upon the Commission Chairperson, Honorable Mr. Justice Esau Chulu, to conclude the deliberations. Chair.
Thanks very much, CEO. Pursuant to Section 73 of subsection 2 of the Electoral Process Act number 35 of 2016, I have made a decision to announce and declare the results of the presidential election without having received the full results from Mandevu constituency. The said provision permits me as the returning officer to proceed to declare the winner of this election as waiting for the said Mandevu constituency results would unreasonably delay the declaration thereof. Further, the outstanding results are not likely to materially influence the overall result of this election. Therefore, the consolidated results are for 155 constituencies out of 156 constituencies, plus 181 polling stations out of 195 polling stations for Mandevu constituency. I now proceed to the declaration of the President-elect. Declaration of President-elect. The Electoral Process General Regulations of 2016 as already pronounced, whereas Parliament was dissolved on the 14th day of May 2021, and whereas an election to the office of President was conducted on the 12th day of August 2021. Now, therefore, I, Honorable Mr. Justice Esau Elliott Chulu, being the returning officer for the election to the office of President, do hereby declare that I have, in accordance with the law, ascertain the results of such election, and the valid votes were given to Silumbe Richard, LM, 1,283, 1,283, Mwenda Kasonde, EFF, 1,331, 1,331, Miranda Stephen, Nareb, 1,766, 1,766, Tembo Sean, Pep, 1,798, 1,798, Mwamba Msonda TS, Unit, 2,992, 2,992, Tonga Enoch, third LM 3088 3088. Mumba Nevas S MMD 4809 4,809. Gisela Lazarus ZUSD 5,229 5,229. Chanda Charles UPPZ 6,520 6,520. Kateka Chishala NHP 8,063 8,063. Hamdudu Hivi H PNUP 10,388 10,388. Mebe Fred SP 16,379 16,379. Banda Antford M Park 19,804 19,804. Kalabahari DP 24,879 24,879. Lungu Edgar C PF 1,814,201 1,814,201. Hichilema Hakainde S 2,810,757 2,810,757. I therefore declare the said Hichilema Hakainde S to be President-elect of the Republic of Zambia this 16th day of August 2021.
Here, it's a Gary Combo leading in the celebrations that are here for the United Party for National Development to take it from the Patriotic Front. It is a true demonstration of Zambia's democratic dispensation and what it means to put in place systems that allow the people to decide their destiny. There are celebrations that are not just happening here but everywhere in the country. And so Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, having had a very, very tough race is declared President-elect by Mr. Justice Esau Chulu. And now, Mr. Gary Nkombo is going to react and give a statement to the media following this very crucial and historic election victory that is obviously not just for the UPND but for the country as a whole.
I'm very certain that this is a new beginning. I would like to begin by thanking the Almighty God. The Almighty God, He who makes light come into darkness and darkness come into light for this day. This day was a long time coming.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I personally will have a job in this new government, because Mr. Hichilema, if he was here, we would not have toasted to anything. So we've jumped the protocol because as far as he's concerned, there is nothing to celebrate. There is absolutely nothing to celebrate. That is the man we are speaking about. That is his state of mind. But we broke the protocol by popping some Moya and Shandong as just a symbol of a happy moment.
A long struggle. It must be very emotional for you.
Well, I'm man enough to control my emotions. That if Mr. Hichilema was here, we would not have toasted to anything. Because this country has got a lot of challenges. The challenges which the Zambian people, in their collective wisdom, have decided to lump on the shoulders of this one man. But we must be quick to say that this one man is equal to the task.
Yes.
Is equal to the task, and therefore you must all watch the space. I would like to thank the ECZ. Although they took long to dispense of this business, although they took long, they did take long to dispense of this business. I was saying they took very long to dispense of this business. But in life, it's said that it's better late than never. It's better late than never. So we thank them for this moment. We want to reiterate our gratitude, our thankfulness to everybody who took a part in this particular democratic process. As you know, you don't need to be told that the UPND has been in this struggle for 23 years. And to find themselves in the position of authority, as the case may be now, we call it the position of authority courtesy of the Zambian people rather than a position of power, because the power belongs to the people. We want to thank you, Zambians. We want to make particular thanks. We want to make particular thanks to the youth bracket of this country, because they were the most hit by the recklessness, the short-sightedness, the myopic nature of the government of yesteryear, namely the PF. We want to thank you, youths of this country. We want to celebrate you for making a bold decision, for coming out in a cold night to queue up as early as 1 o'clock in the morning, waiting for the day to break on the 12th, in order to give a resounding victory for Mr. Hichilema, who has now broken the record of this particular country, because after Frederick Titus Jacob Chiluba's 59-60% win in 1991, we have hit that target plus or minus. We want to thank you for making your voice come out so strong, and we want to assure you that we will not let you down.
Yes.
Our state of mind, we will not let you down. We will do everything that is humanly possible to make sure that the resources of this country are utilized to the best interests of those whose interests and aspirations we have endeavored to serve.
What lessons can we learn from the resilience of Mr. Hichilema?
Mr. Hichilema is not just a resilient human being, he is also tenacious. This is a true definition of tenacity, that in the midst of trouble, in the midst of walking through the valley of the darkness of death, as you know, he has been a victim. But the good news is that Mr. Hichilema is a Christian by his making, and he knows, and he also believes that vengeance is for God.
You made reference to the electoral process and how slow it's been. Would that be part of the priority that you want to look at?
We have said it before, and we're not shy to say it again, that under this new order, we are going to create a truly independent electoral commission, which is what's been lacking in this country. And we're not ashamed to say, you can mark our lips, you can mark our words. Our story is that for democracy to thrive, we are going to endeavor as one of the biggest priorities to make sure that the Electoral Commission of Zambia is truly independent, meaning that we will not swallow our words. The commissioners will have to come from the different political persuasion rather than being appointed by one human being. That was our undertaking. It still remains our undertaking.
Parties before you had pledged before to make reforms, including reforms of the Public Order Act and also giving essential freedoms to people. But then when they get into power, they forget. Will you do the same?
There's an old adage in Zambia, my friend, which says, those are those, we are another. We will live by our words. We are believers of the fundamental rights and freedoms of people. In its current form, the Public Order Act has been abused by successive governments. It has been operating under the whims of human beings. I want to quote from the fallen President Patrick Levy-Mwanawasa, who said that this government is going to be a government of laws rather than that of men.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful night.
You mean you're going to maintain the Public Order Act? But
the Public Order Act is a necessary tool in any society. But it will not be, it will be reformed. I want to say to you, in its current form, the Public Order Act is lacking a little bit, but the past government have used it to abuse citizens. That will be completely void in the government of the UPND. There will be no citizen that is going to, can you please keep quiet? There will be no citizen that is going to be a victim of a law.
What does the party have to say to Mr. Anderson Mazoka, and obviously to supporters, because this had to come from a dream, some passion to...
I know for a fact that Mazoka's spirit now lies in peace, because this was his dream. And we will not let him down even in his fallen state.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a formal press conference.
Mr. Gary Nkombo there talking to the press, reacting to the victory that officially confirms Mr. Hakainde Hichilema as Zambia's president-elect. What a moment this one has been. What follows is the celebration and the victory.
Is finally over. The day, the 12th of August, that has been, enshrined in our constitution to elect Zambia's president has passed. Zambia's president-elect has been elected and declared. Now, we are going to be going through a number of issues and going to various parts of this country to show you how the celebrations are going, in this country. Gentlemen, the day has finally passed.
I don't know who's speaking it first. You want to comment first after the seventh president is announced, elect? I'll take it up. I think we've been waiting for a long time. There's been a lot of anxiety, but what has been key for me is that Zambians have been able to hold it together, to wait patiently until the final declaration is made. And it has been made. All what I can say is to be able to congratulate President-elect Hakainde Hichilema, His Excellency. A true demonstration of resilience, perseverance. We've seen many political parties come to the fore, but do fought. But from, I think, 2006, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema has been strong. He has demonstrated that you don't just need to show up and be on the ballot and take the leadership of the country. He survived the storm. He's competed with among the best. Like they say, God's time is the best, and God has given him the time. In the last election, did lose with 100,000 votes. Today, he's multiplied that by 10.
Right.
Yeah, so it's got time. Delay is not denial, and he's gotten here. He's got the will and the collective responsibility of the Zambian people. The celebration simply shows you that for the last few years that Zambians have been under the leadership and administration of the Patriotic Front, there's been a lot of deception in terms of the governing party not meeting their aspirations. You are aware that the governing party did come on the premise of more money in people's pockets, but can that be said of as of today in terms of many families? Many families have continued going without food. Very difficult to survive. You talk about the graduates. I think we saw in this election in some selected parts of the country where graduates literally went with their gowns. People have been graduating year in, year out, but they've not had an opportunity to get employment. You talk of students' bursaries, there was a reform, but did receive a backlash. Government didn't listen to them. So also we saw, I think, under the previous administration or this administration that's going on, in terms of thuggery taking hold of key state institutions, even those controlled by the local authorities in terms of the council. So it was difficult to be able to realize. So I think it's the work needs to start as soon as possible in terms of redeeming and rekindling the aspirations of the Zambians to ensure that we achieve that prosperity. I think the language in the many years that he's been in the opposition has been about creating prosperity for the Zambian people.
Right.
And here he has that opportunity to be able to create that prosperity.
Kelvin, we're going to be crossing to the party secretariat and just see how what is happening there. But before we do that, I would like to get your comment.
Indeed, the stone which the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. The seventh attempt by the president-elect. 7 is a special number, biblical number, prophetic number. And indeed, for the 7th time, here we are. We have the 7th president after trying for 7 times in the name of His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema. Kudos to the Zambian people for the trust that they have seen, and they have entrusted him to preside over the affairs of the nation for the next 5 years. Kudos to the team. You are aware that the UPND went for the general conference, and after that general conference we saw a good number of young, vibrant people, youths, making it to the highest decision organ making, which is the National Management Committee. And these young people, when they were ushered into that committee, they didn't look back, but they worked so hard. We saw others were arrested, others were brutalized, but they kept the faith. Here we are today. They have managed to deliver victory for the UPND, and also kudos to the opposition alliance who thought it wise and responded to the calls and cries of the many Zambians who said, we want you, the opposition, to come together and work together so that you can give the Zambian people the victory that they deserve. And indeed, we saw the likes of President Mutati, the likes of KBF, Akafumba, the likes of Reverend Dr. Shimonza, just to mention a few, coming together. And indeed, here we are today. We have a new president-elect. What is remaining now is just a swearing in, so that, like Gary has mentioned, Honorable Gary Nkombo, that if the president-elect was at Mulungushi, there is no time for party, but it's time to work and deliver to the promises that they have been making to the Zambian people. We are a peaceful nation, and we should continue to be peaceful. We have said it before that election